It's your daily dose of Donna. Welcome to the show. Today is Wednesday, July 2nd. I'm already skipping to the end of July. Thank you so much for being here. What a day. We have a crazy, crazy day. And unfortunately, it's quite a sad day in the justice system, in my opinion. I'm not feeling pretty happy about it. I'm feeling quite discouraged, frustrated, and honestly sad. I'm feeling sad about what's going on in the justice system today. I just wrapped watching the live Kohberger uh, plea trial or plea change, guilty plea trial. We'll talk about that. I'll show you guys some clips. It was depressing to say the least, sad, eerie, creepy. And I have so many thoughts about it. We'll get into that. Of course, the Diddy verdict. What in the F is happening? I guess he can't win at all after Karen Reed's high 2 weeks ago. It's like we went from such a high of feeling, I mean, if you're on my side of the Karen Reed verdict, and then you go into this, you're just like, what is happening? It just feels so depressing. So we're going to go into my thoughts. And then, of course, I want to hear your thoughts about Kohberger, about Diddy, what's going to happen, where we're going to go from there. And then we're going to talk about a good little fun friend of ours, Blake Lively, and the chaos that she is creating. Because this woman knows how to create chaos wherever she goes. She's literally like a bowling ball. And I don't say that lightly, as my last name is Bowling. I don't like using the name Bowling to represent anything negative because I like bowling. But Blake Lively is a proverbial bowling ball. Okay. She goes through life and she just knocks shit down. So we will talk about it all. Thank you so much for being here. So many new people here from yesterday's Turtle Boy episode. I'll talk about it all and more on today's, say it with me, Daily Dose of Donna. I like Micah's take on this. Take out bowling. She's a wrecking ball. I came in like a wrecking ball. Yeah, you know what? She should be. Blake Lively is the wrecking ball of 2024 and 5. She wrecks it all. And so do all her people. Those 6 people. They just wreck it all. We'll get into her later. She doesn't deserve top billing today. Push her to the end. Oh my gosh. If you guys are new here, welcome to the show. Is this your first live? I always love talking to you. Did you break is this your breaking your virginity or what? What? Oh my gosh. Today I'm doing a members only. If you're a member here, welcome. I'm doing a members only. I first scheduled it for the afternoon for 2 p.m. Pacific time, but I'm actually going to have to push it to 6 p.m. because I forgot that I have kids. That's the truth. I forgot that I have physicals for my kids. They have their yearly physicals at 2 p.m. So I'm going to be at the doctor's office. I totally forgot. And Lance is out of town. So I have to do that. And then I have, sports and whatever, 6 p.m. Pacific time, 9 p.m. Eastern time, something Mountain time, somewhere in between, something Midwest time. Don't know the times. But if you're a member, you'll see me there. We'll talk all about Turtle Boy behind the scenes, all my thoughts about that interview yesterday. So many of you guys liked it. It was quite a ride. I'm telling you, managing Turtle Boy is it was an interesting, I love him. I have nothing negative to say, but it was a ride. It was a ride. Working with Turtle Boy is you never know what you're going to get. He's literally a box of chocolates, right? It's like, we're going to get a happy Turtle Boy, and we got it all. We got a pissed off Turtle Boy. We got an angry Turtle Boy. We got a blurry Turtle Boy. And then we got a happy Turtle Boy. We moved up. We got it. We got all the colors of the rainbow with the turtle. And then, of course, we'll talk about a bunch of other things. Very, very interesting. I got so many fun DMs about Turtle Boy. Great ones. And then I got one from Lisa. Oh, Lisa. Let's see if I have that saved on my computer. I'd love to call her out. If you're going to send me a DM that's really, really nasty, I don't usually call out like really nasty DMs. I don't. I get a lot of them. I mean, that's just part of the game when you're, honest online and you just talk online and people don't like that. Like people are very, very offended if you highlight people that are controversial. And obviously, Turtle Boy is a controversial person, right? Like, I'm not surprised by that. Who's surprised by that? But Lisa did not like it, you guys. Oh, Lisa was pissed. And she'll be happy. She'll get her little 5 minutes of fame right now. Lisa's speaking for all of Hank Brennan's people. The fact that you put that blogger on your platform shows that you are just as vile as he is. You've joined the club of grief vultures, and it's sad. You care more about money and clicks than integrity because you have none. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Lisa, I appreciate you. Thank you for the engagement. And what have you done for John O'Keefe today, Lisa? Waiting. I mean, seriously, at the end of the day with Turtle Boy, that is all he's trying to do. You can call him, he's crass. Trust me, he says all of the things that I'm like uncomfortable saying. Trust me, I was like hiding. But at the end of the day, Josh just gifted 5 Daily Dose of Donna memberships. That's so kind. But at the end of the day, what did he say on the show? He said, I hated that John O'Keefe died in vain that way. I am fighting for his justice. What are you doing, Lisa? And by the way, Lisa is all of the people that fight back at people like Turtle Boy, right? Now, it's really, really interesting. Lance got a phone call this morning, a missed call. I'm going to show you guys. This concerns me. Who do you think is calling Lance? He's in Vegas right now. Who's calling Lance right now, you guys? Can you see that? Let me make it a little bigger. From Canton. Who's calling Lance from Canton this morning, huh? I thought it was Jen McCabe. Is Jen calling Lance to ask, how's long until Donna shuts up, stops talking to me, stops talking about me? Oh, you think it's Higgins? Maybe it is Higgins. Maybe it's Higgins saying, yo, Lance, you want to come over for whiskey ginger? I hope so. I really hope so. Okay. Let's get into the stories today. Just had to throw that out there. Hopefully you join me for members only tonight. I'm looking forward to it. Okay. So let's start talking about Kohberger, since that just wrapped this morning. And that was really so sad. We have to talk about it. Coco's mom says, it's my first show. I got your channel from Zach Peter. I'm one of the few that is totally disgusted in my core about Sean Combs jurors. Yes, we're going to talk about that in just a bit. Let's get through Kohberger and then we'll go to Diddy. The whole thing just feels sick. I'm with you. And thank you so much for being here. So Kohberger, this is so devastating. I will be able to talk about this more. I've hinted at this morning, and I actually watched Annie Elise this morning cover a little bit. So Annie also got the screener for this Amazon documentary. I wanted to say A Body in the Snow, but I'm like, Donna, we've moved on. We're talking about a different case. There are these documentaries, a 4-part documentary that comes out on July 11th. And this is the documentary about Kohberger. in the Idaho 4. And if you guys remember, I had not known anything about this, but I knew that the trial was coming up and I wanted to kind of jump into it and learn about it. So when I was on my flight to go to Charleston, I watched it. It's called One Night in Idaho, The College Murders. It's coming out on July 11th, but we have an embargo. We can't talk about it as creators until July 8th. So all I can tell you is that it's a really, really interesting documentary series, and it's going to really highlight the case from the victims and their families. It talks about a lot. And if you've been following the case, you'll be very interested in it. But to now know that it's coming out after Kohberger has entered his guilty plea, and today was the hearing, and watching it live was really, really hard to watch. Seeing Kohberger in the courtroom, and I'll show you guys a little bit of it just because it was so short and it was so fast and it was so creepy. If I can be 100% honest, it was so creepy because he had absolutely no emotion. He has absolutely no, I guess, no, how do we explain it? No sympathy, no empathy, no, he doesn't feel sad, Kohberger. He's like devoid of emotion. He stands there with he actually stood up for a second, even though the judge told him to stand down. And by the way, I don't remember the judge's name. We didn't really get a chance to get to know this judge. This judge, I wish we would have had a judge like this in Karen Reed's trial. And I don't really know a lot about him, but I just already know I like his shit. I like the way he talks. He seemed like he was on top of his stuff. He was a good man, right? Like the judge was speaking. He was speaking well. But this man was just sitting there, devoid of emotion, and had to admit, yes, I did. Yes, to all of the claims. The judge had to ask him one by one, do you admit to killing? Name by name, by name, by name. I'll show you guys a couple clips of it. It was really, 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 really uncomfortable to watch. Now, we didn't get to actually see the families in the courtroom. I believe they were off to the side. The only reason that I think that is because the people in behind the prosecutors kept kind of looking to the side. I think they pushed them off to the side so we didn't see. But I can only imagine you guys sitting in that room, hearing the victims' names over and over, and hearing the judge saying, do you admit to killing the human being, Ethan Chapin, the human being, Xana Carnudo, the human being, Kaylee Gonzalez? Like, it's so tragic to think about the fact that these are his names. Now, this man, I believe, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a psychologist. I believe he is absolutely a sociopath serial killer. Like, he fits the bill. If you watch the documentary, if you have done any research on this man he is not, just like an average human being. He's a sick man. But let's watch just like a little bit of it to kind of hear it. Let me take off this live chat here.
That obviously required that we act quickly. And so some folks may have consequences to you of your guilty pleas. I want to make sure your plea is given voluntarily and
so the judge,
prove your guilt.
The judge goes through all the waivers and making sure that the plea is done on his own terms. He's not being paid to do it. He's not being asked to do it. He's not being told to do it. No one is like forcing him into do it. He's not lying about it. This is 100% true. And that's important for him to admit to. The first time he speaks, let me see if I can cue up when he actually stands up. Now, it's a little strange because at one point, Kohberger stands up, which is so uncomfortable. And his attorney,
the court is not bound by the plea agreement and could impose a different lawful sentence.
Hold on.
All right. Ms. Taylor, have you had sufficient time to discuss this case and all of its ramifications with your client?
I have, Your Honor.
Have you discussed fully with him his rights, defenses, and possible consequences to him of the guilty plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
Have you been able to do all the discovery you feel necessary?
Yes, Your Honor.
And have you informed your client of the importance of providing the court truthful and accurate answers in taking this plea today?
I have.
Have you apprised your client of any and all offers and counter offers and answered his questions about those?
Yes,
Do you consent to the entry of the plea today?
I do.
All right, Mr. Kohberger, I need to ask you some questions this afternoon, or I guess it's this morning still. I do this to ensure that you so that I am assured that you understand the nature of the charges to which I understand you're going to plead guilty, as well as the possible consequences to you of your guilty pleas. I want to make sure your plea is given voluntarily, and I want to make sure that you actually committed the crimes to which you're pleading guilty, because I don't want you to plead guilty to a crime you didn't commit. If you attempt to plead guilty today, but for some reason I don't accept your plea, then it is possible that your statements today could be used against you later at trial. Do you understand that?
Yes.
All right.
First time we ever
Now,
hear
while
him
you're standing,
speak.
actually, why don't you take the oath from the clerk?
You solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you shall give in the matter not being before this court shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes.
All right, and Mr. Kohberger, just to make it easier, you don't need to stand when you speak to me. I appreciate the sign of respect, but for convenience, you can remain seated, all right? Before I start asking you questions today, have you consumed substantive questions? Let me ask you, have you consumed any alcohol, drug, or other intoxicating substance that would impair your ability to understand or exercise reasonable judgment?
No.
You feel like you are thinking clearly today?
Yes.
All right, I want you to understand what the possible penalties are.
Now he goes through a lot of questions back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. What got me was when the prosecutor who looks this older gentleman with the beard who has like a Santa energy speaks. And what he does is he goes through the evening and he kind of tries to explain what happens that evening in a way that I think tries to share the story a little bit for the courtroom, almost to share, because we didn't get a chance. I don't even know exactly what the point is, but it's almost like giving a little justice for the families who weren't able to have a trial, who weren't able to have a chance to like kind of get justice. And so this man, I wish I knew his name. I don't know the players that well yet, but he had so the prosecutor stands up and he tells the story of what happened that night. And he's a very nice man. I mean, he seems like a very nice man and cares about the victims and their families. So he speaks about them. I'll just give you a few seconds of it.
Bed next to Madison Logan's body. And I can jump ahead. That sheath was tested by the Idaho State Police Forensic Lab, and single source male DNA was found on the snap of that sheath.
He's talking about how they
blood from both Kaylee.
He's talking about how they found the sheath of the knife in the bedroom. He left the knife. That's how they found that it was him. Is he left the sleeve of the knife in Kaylee's bedroom, in one of the victims' bedrooms, which they found the DNA and they were able to trace it back to Bryan Kohberger. And that's one of the pieces of evidence. There's many other pieces of evidence that led back to this man.
And Madison and other trace evidence, but it's important to note single source male DNA was on the snap of that sheath. The state's evidence would show that Xana Knodel was still awake at this time. In fact, had taken a DoorDash order not long before this started. Her room was not on the third floor, it was on the second floor on the west side. As the defendant was either coming down the stairs or leaving, he encountered Xana, and he ended up killing her, also with a large knife. Ethan Chapin, Xana's boyfriend, was asleep in their bedroom, in her bedroom, and the defendant killed him as well with a large fixed-blade knife. Each victim suffered multiple wounds. I will say for the record that there is no evidence there was any sexual component or sexual assault on any of the victims. I want to make that clear so there's no speculation. There were two other roommates in the house, and they were already asleep. During the course of this, one of those roommates awoke, looked out her door not knowing what was going on, and saw the defendant, who was dressed in black with black balaclava on, holding some sort of container in his hand. And she saw him leave the house through the direction of the kitchen where that.
He continues to talk about exactly what happened. He goes on for a few minutes. He really tells the story of the night, and it's important. It's important for everyone to hear exactly what a monster this man is and what he did. And I think that's important. But the part I want you guys to hear is that he tells the story of the 4 victims, and I want you to hear the closing part of the story.
Would show that as the defendant has just admitted and pleaded guilty on November 13th, 2022, excuse me, Mr. Kohberger entered the residence of 1122 King Road in Moscow, Idaho. He did that with the intent to kill. We will not represent that he intended to commit all of the murders that he did that night, but we know that that is what resulted, and that he then killed intentionally, willfully, deliberately, with premeditation, and with malice aforethought. Manny Mogan, Kaylee Gonzalez, Ethan Chapin, and Xana Colonel. Thank you.
Thank you.
The prosecutor got choked up reading their names, and it broke my heart. And I got teary because I got to know these families watching the documentary. I just got into this case. Like, so many of you guys have known about this since 2022. These are just college kids going away to college. You send your kids to college assuming everything's going to be fine. Of course, things go wrong all the time. That's just life, right? Drunk driving accidents, pedestrian accidents, people drink too much, people get OD, people, there's so many things that can go wrong in life, but you just go to sleep at night. And then this monster, premeditated or just random, or just, we don't even know why. We have ideas why, and you're going to learn more about that in the documentary. But there's so many horrible things that could happen here when you just send your kid over to college, they go to sleep, and then this happens, then this random ass situation. It's just so sad. It's just so sad. So this story broke my heart. And after he tells after the prosecutor tells the story, it goes back to Bryan Kohberger, and he has to admit one by one for every single person's name. Do you admit to killing? Da, 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 da. Yes, I admit it. Yes, guilty. Yes, 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 yes. And it's like, almost like he's proud. Almost like this guy is proud. I think Bryan Kohberger is a sick MF, and he wants to absolutely he wants to be one of those famous, Ted Bundy types that goes to jail and is like notorious. But you know what? He can't get an appeal. He can't make any money off of this. He can't sell a book or a documentary or any of that stuff. So may he rot in prison for the rest of his life. And we won't know anything until July 23rd, when I guess the sentencing happens. And that's when the victim income impact statements happen, when the families get to have a chance to come and speak for their children and speak for the victims. And that's going to be incredibly difficult. And then at that point, the judge will be able to sentence him officially. And at this point, all we can do is pray for the families. And on the 11th, which is in 9 days, you guys will be able to watch the documentaries, which tells the victims' stories in more detail and really gets into the victims' families' stories as well. And that will be on Amazon Prime. Okay. So we'll talk more about that on the 8th, which is 6 days from today, which is Tuesday. I can talk about the documentary. And yes, Mildly is asking, Donna, did you hear about Papa Doc, the online guy who knew way too much about the car and is suspected to be Bryan Kohberger? The documentary covers Papa Rogers. That's who it is, Papa Rogers, from a Facebook group, and it covers that whole theory, and it is in the documentary, and it is incredibly, incredibly interesting, very interesting. And just you wait. So we will talk all about that documentary next week. So stay tuned. Very sad story, and I'm praying for those families of Bryan Kohberger's victims, Maddie, Kaylee, Xana, and Ethan. Okay. And yes, there's a book coming out. My girlfriend, Jamie, just told me that she just listened to a book about it. Like, there's so much coming out about this case. So hopefully those victims will never be forgotten. All right, let's move on to Diddy. Another freaking crazy, depressing story out of New York today. Diddy, what a turn of events. Are you guys as shocked as I am that Diddy is, I mean, of course it's a split verdict, but not guilty on most counts? I am just in shock over it. I thought for sure he was going to be guilty on something. And so many of you guys thought he was going to be guilty on some things, right? I thought for sure. I mean, how many times did I have people here on this show? Emily was one of them, Emily Hagan, who's been in the trial every single day for 8 weeks. And then the other day I had Addie here, and you guys were yelling in the comments, he is definitely going to get RICO. He is definitely going to be guilty for RICO. But he wasn't. The only thing that Diddy got and was guilty of was transportation of prostitutes. And it was just that one prostitute, I think. That one man. Not guilty on everything else. So Diddy most likely, maximum will get 10 years. And you know he won't. Because this man is a charmer. Diddy has a way to charm his way through life. You remember that Wicked song, Dancing Through Life? Diddy is charming through life. And I'm pissed about it. Because we've all seen the footage. And we all know that Diddy is a piece of shit. I don't care that he didn't in fact sex traffic or didn't in fact, we've all seen the footage of him beating Cassie. And if we can see that, I don't care if it's past statute of limitations. I don't care if it's 1 year or 10 years ago. We saw one time, and you know it's not the only time. Because if you do it one time in a hotel lobby, you're doing it everywhere. You're doing it all the time. And that ain't a one-time thing. You don't just like randomly one time beat your girlfriend. That's not like a one-time thing that happens. That's in your blood. You're a piece of shit. You're an abuser. I will absolutely never be able to forgive and forget Diddy. And let me just tell you, if any powerful Hollywood elites, celebrities, musicians, and trust me, there will be those. That's the thing, because people love to forget and forgive. But if any powerful Hollywood elites or celebrities or musicians say come in, Diddy, come here with open arms, you're all pieces of shit. Should I thank Beyonce to make sure that my house doesn't blow up right now? I can't handle how shitty this is. Now, I understand that the law is the law is the law, and a case is a case. And at the end of the day, when you're presented with a case and you don't have the proof and you don't have the case, the jury can only do so much. So the case was shit and they didn't have the evidence. But it still doesn't mean that he's not a piece of shit and he's going to walk free. He's still a bad guy. So it's all bad, right? I know a lot of you guys don't like Megyn Kelly, but I was working out this morning. Oh, I started working out using this ladder app. This is not a paid promotion deal, although I would love it for it to be. But I started working out using this ladder app. And what's cool about it is I can do it at home and I can listen to YouTube. And I was watching The Lawyer cover Diddy. And then it ended and it started playing this Megyn Kelly. It's just it went on like an auto. And she was pissed. She was pissed about Diddy. And I loved how pissed she was about Diddy. Thank you, Sharon. We are their voice for becoming a member. She was so pissed about Diddy that I think I should play for you guys how outraged she how outraged she was. And listen, and I mean, Megyn Kelly, everyone always says Megyn Kelly hates women. She hates women. I don't think so. I think she hates assholes. But Megyn Kelly is a former attorney. She knows what she's doing, and she's very upset about this. So check this out.
Here's one other bit of color for you. New York Times
I guess I should-
reporting this won't
I guess I should share the actual video with you guys if I want to, show you, right? Here.
Here's one other bit of color for you. New York Times reporting, this won't surprise you. Combs's body language is totally different from yesterday when he seemed crestfallen and grim after the jury said it had reached a verdict on 4 of the 5 counts. Now, acquitted of the most serious charges, Mr. Combs appears energetic and relieved. Can we just talk about, here's the picture, here's the sketch artist's picture of Combs yesterday of the grimness. And I'm sure we'll get one today of him looking much more relieved. I'm so confused about, here's a little bit more, New York Times, with a touch of levity. The judge said he assumed Combs would not want to return to the Brooklyn jail where he has been held. Combs shook his head vigorously and put his hands together in prayer. Oh, it's all just so chummy inside the courtroom for this disgusting pervert female abuser who I can't believe is about to roam our streets again. I'm sorry, I'm disgusted by this verdict. This is fucking ridiculous. I just find it absolutely outrageous, the amount of crime that this guy just got away with. I believe he committed arson. He definitely battered Cassie. He battered Jane too. The statute of limitations for battery in Los Angeles, California is 1 year. 1 year. So if they didn't charge him for battery within 1 year, and they couldn't because he bought the tape and it remained hidden thanks to those security guards out there, then they could never charge him with that again. There's no question. He dragged her back into that hotel room. Why wasn't that kidnapping? They only talked about the kidnapping of Capricorn Clark, who was his sort of main assistant, because she said he grabbed her and made her go with him over to Kid Cudi's house. There's no question he broke into Kid Cudi's house, in my view, and that he opened up the Christmas presents and locked the door in and made a threat. There's no question in my mind he was behind the arson of Kid Cudi's car, and there was proof, plenty of proof to prove that. No, okay, there was female fingerprints they found on that, the firebomb that was left there, the Molotov cocktail. And the prosecution said there's no question he didn't do it himself, but he said, I'm going to bomb Kid Cudi's car. It's in writing. Cassie Ventura emailed her mother saying, oh my God, he's threatening to bomb his car. And 2 weeks later, it got bombed. Oh, gee, it was just some third party who also had, it's just like the proof was there.
Yeah.
The beatings, the threats that if they didn't go back into those rooms and get off with these male escorts, that they were going to get beaten. The testimony from that Daniel Phillip, who was the male escort, who heard Combs abusing Cassie behind the door. And she was screaming, I'm sorry, as he heard him slapping her. Get back out there. She came back out. She was shaking. She got back into the escort's lap, physically shaking. She was so scared to the point where that guy couldn't perform sexually because this was so horrifying to him. What in the actual F went on in there?
So Megan, let me just 1 second, Phil.
The guys are like,
let me just-
the guys are like, shit. They agree for the most part. I'm not going to play you the whole thing. They agree for the most part. But the truth is, he's a horrible human being that got off by like technicality because they just didn't have enough. And what it comes down to is reasonable doubt, right? They didn't have enough because you can't legally put someone in prison for being an asshole. It's just horrible. But at the end of the day, the man has a Tootsie Roll for a penis and we'll always know that. I'm so mad about it. I thought, you can roll the tape. I went on this show over and over and over and over and said, this is a piece of shit that will never see the outside of a prison, and looks like he will not only see the outside of the prison, he's going to walk outside of that prison and do a little ditty. Literally, Diddy will do a little ditty outside of the prison. And he's a shitty dancer, by the way. And he'll walk out of the prison doing a little dance with his freaking freak off family. His family's a freak show, by the way, in my opinion. I think his family's a freak show. All of them. Every single one of them. They'll probably get a freaking show on TLC next. Between the Baldwins, it'll be the Baldwins, the Diddys, and then the Reynolds Lively family show. It will be a whole lineup. It will be the new TGIF, right? It'll be the family of freaks. That's going to be the new Friday night lineup. The Baldwins, and then, the Diddys, and then it will be Blake and Reynolds. How can we screw over a family and make out with our sister-in-law? It's so ridiculous. But the thing is, it's not over. Oh, yeah, and there you go. And then they'll all move to Canton. Yeah, put on the McAlberts after that. Yeah, make it a foursome. Throw on the McCabe's and the McAlberts on the floor. And the happy family, it will be like a Brady Bunch. That will be, that's the real house of fucking villains. I'm telling you, something is up with that family. The mom walking in so proud of him. Oh, my little freak off son. Oh, my son. All he did was transfer prostitutes to come on his chest, to spread cum on his nipples. Sweet boy. I taught him well. I'm sorry. What? He makes Cody Brown and Sister Wives look like, Bible thumpers. I'm sorry. We can call it Demon Network TV. Yeah, DNT. DNTV. Starring Diddy. I'm telling you, it is truly sick people running the damn show. We're all just living in it. But this is really a tragedy. It's a tragedy of errors. It was a freak. It was like, what a carnival of a mess. So much money was spent on that trial. So many people like upended their lives thinking that it was, where is Tony Busby? Where in the world is Tony Busby? Put Carmen Sandiego aside. Where is Tony Busby? I need to know where the hell is Tony. What did he start here and where is it? Because I was under the impression that Diddy sexually assaulted and raped every single person in the entire world. Where are they? And then just last week, there was a whole article about he and his son gang raping 15 people. What's going on with those? Where are those people? Are these different cases? Are they going to still have other cases? Are people still suing? Is it possible that Diddy continues to get sued and continues to go to trial and will still never get out of prison? Is there more and more and more going on? Something happened. Now, if you don't remember, when I had Emily here on the show, she straight up said, and a lot of you guys didn't like it, but she said that she didn't believe the jurors seemed smart. So many people didn't like it. People really didn't like that. People said, I don't believe that that felt right, because she also said that there weren't a lot of, in a separate sentence, not in the same sentence, but she said in a separate sentence that she said there were not a lot of white people on the jury. It was a very diverse jury. And I got a lot of comments saying this feels very racist that Emily said that there is a diverse jury and they didn't seem smart. And I said, look, I'm not there. I'm not in the trial. I have absolutely no idea what it is and what it isn't. I just wanted her take on it. People didn't like that. But is there a world where the jury just fell for his charm? I don't know. Ashley's saying, is Emily for or against Diddy? I can't tell. I don't think she has a take, to be honest. I think she's just literally watching it from the sidelines. She's covering it more from like almost like a sociology perspective. She covers it from just like, look at these people from outside I mean, if you're watching what's happening outside of that court case, it's crazy. Like the people outside are their own show. Today, I just got a text from Zach Peter. You should see what the first clip was about what's happening outside of the trial. They're putting on, oh my God, you guys are going to get sick if I show you what TMZ is showing right now. Hold on. This is sick. Diddy to family, I'm coming home. I don't want to see that. Please don't come home. Where's home? What happened with the feds and the raids? The only person that's happy about this is Johnson & Johnson. This is the only person that's happy today. Okay, who cares about Ali Luber? This is what Zach Peter sent to me today. Fans break out baby oil outside court, glistening nip slips. What the hell? This is what's happening outside of the courtroom at TMZ. I mean, at the courthouse. It's madness over there. So that is what Emily is like really into. She likes to kind of watch the chaos outside of the courtroom. This is crazy. Like, people are obsessed with Diddy in such a sick way that people will kiss the ground he walks on. He literally can beat a woman in a lobby, in a hotel corridor, being filmed in a towel, beat the shit out of her, kick her, punch her, pull her back into his hotel room, and women are pouring baby oil all over them, saying free puff. This is a sick, sick world we live in, you guys. Sick. And TMZ is posting it like this is fun. Don't even get me started on TMZ. We have issues with TMZ. What's happening here? What's happening? Look at all these people. This is the world we live in. How old did I get overnight? I'm now 97 years old. I can't. Daily Mail just released an article. They think he will win an appeal. Who? Diddy's already appealing what? Appealing his not guilty verdict? Goodbye. I can't. This pisses me off. There's not enough words in the dictionary that people like him are going to walk free, and people like Justin Baldoni are being called sexual predators. Can we like zoom out for a second and put that into fucking perspective? Sorry, I'm using the F word today. Turtle Boy rubbed off on me. Okay? Turtle Boy rubbed off on me. Can we just put that into perspective? Diddy is going to walk free, and Justin freaking Baldoni is cursed as a sexual predator. Justin Baldoni has Blake bots online calling him a horror show, a disgusting, perverted sexual predator. And Diddy's walking free. Vomit. Vomit. They should be ashamed of themselves, those disgusting Blake minions and bots. And you know who I'm talking about. And I'm not even, I'm looking directly at those people who are speaking, and they're people, and I know that they're real, and I'm still calling them bots because they might as well be. It's so sick. Like, something is wrong with society. Zoom out. There are people out there who are literally getting sexually assaulted, beat down, and gang raped, and you're going after Justin Baldoni for saying he used to like porn and was addicted to porn as a kid? Get a fucking life. Get a fucking life. I can't. Like, all in the name of what? You're fighting for what? For poor little victim Blakey? Such a victim. I can't. Let's move on to Blake. I'm so over covering Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds and this case. And the only reason I continue to do it is because of Justin Baldoni. And I say this honestly. The only reason, because covering her case has become more toxic than covering anything I've ever covered, I think. Because of those people. The way that they twist and squeeze and turn everything further. I think they're worse than Karen Reed than Jen McCabe supporters. They're worse than like Shannon Burgess in terms of their lies. Basically, they're Hank Brennan. They're such liars, Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds. I just got a DM. Let me see if I can find it really fast. I just got a DM this morning. Hold on, I'm going to try to find it really fast. Canada. Okay, I just got a DM this morning This is just a little example of what a freaking liar Ryan Reynolds continues to be. Hi, I watched Ryan Reynolds' interview while being awarded because, yes, he just got another award. Yep, Ryan Reynolds is still getting awards. Hey, I watched Ryan Reynolds' interview while being awarded his Order of Canada, and I am livid. Okay, lots of D's. I am from North Vancouver, where Capilano River is. More specifically, I grew up within 5 minutes walking distance of the river. There is absolutely no way he went to it every day after school, as he said he did. And in no way is it special to him. So apparently in this interview that he did, where he's being awarded his Order of Canada, he says in the interview that he is walking distance between this river and it's special to him, this Capilano River. This person continues. It's a 30-minute drive without traffic, 1 hour bus with transfer at the very least across 2 bridges to get from where he lived and went to school in Kitsilano to where Capilano River is. Different city, different area. He was a Kits guy, and us North Van girls would always be over in Kits because they would never come over to the shore. He is BSing. Cap River is my haunt. No one has seen him there. It is not his place. It's such a random, weird thing for him to lie about because I can so easily call him out on it. In case anyone writes you with any info on anything and you can use this, I figured you should know. This is what I'm saying about this mother effer lies about the color of his underwear. They're liars. They can't stop lying. They are tremendous, compulsive liars. It's weird. When you become such a liar and you lie about everything, you don't know when to stop lying. You know what I mean? You start lying about everything in your life. Why would you say that the river is within walking distance and you would go there every day after school when clearly you couldn't and didn't? Isn't that weird? It's weird. Someone is saying right now, hold on, let me see. Yeah, someone is saying right now, you have to cross 2 different cities altogether in the comments. I'm messaging from North Vancouver right now. Yeah. So what is this like bullshit? Why are you lying about such stupid things? Stupid things. I can't handle it. Like, that's the kind of people that they are. They're liars. And so if you're taking every single thing that Blake Lively says as fact, then that's on you, babe. That's on you. Just saying. I saw a video yesterday on TikTok by a lawyer who is very much in Blake Lively's corner and said, you know, a lot of people like to say that Blake Lively really just did this because she wants to clear her name and she wants to, all she wanted to do was clear her name from the bad publicity that she got, you know, after the movie came out. But why would she do this? Because all she's gotten from this experience and from coming out and, you know, sharing her truth about the bad treatment she got on set from Justin Baldoni, all that she's gotten was this horrible, horrible treatment. Look at what she's gotten. Everyone has attacked her. She's gotten treated horribly online. Just insane attacks. And the way that I can look at it is, but you didn't just speak out against the horrible treatment that you got. You went to the New York Times. You chose to not just speak out about the horrible treatment you got. You chose to fucking stand up on top of the building with a loudspeaker and a plane rider and like a, you know, a highlighter and a press release about the horrible treatment you got. Girl, you wanted the world to know. If you really just wanted to speak out about the horrible treatment you got because you wanted others to feel safe, or someone to let Justin Baldoni know that he shouldn't be allowed to be on sets, you could have done it in a much quieter way. It's such a manipulation. Stop manipulating us and stop gaslighting us. The only person singularly that has gotten beaten down and taken down from this entire experience is Mr. Justin Baldoni. Blake Lively is flirting and flying and flinging her stupid butterfly clips through life. By the way, last night I went to dinner. I went to this great restaurant here, local restaurant here in Sherman Oaks, new margarita bar. Hostess is wearing butterfly clips. Remember, Blake Lively was wearing those butterfly clips when she tried to pretend that she was going to a 90s party for SEO manipulation. I was like, are those back? Is it Blake Lively's fault? So anyway, Blake Lively is totally manipulating this whole, I'm the only one that's suffering from this. And no, you're not, babe. No, you're not. Zoom out. And all your supporters are on some sort of like, you're in a bubble if you think that Blake Lively is the one that's taken the hardest beating here. She's taken the hardest beating only from people that know the truth. But if you actually look at the receipts, the only person that is in hiding and has gotten everything taken away from them is Justin. So really? Mr. Ottawa, Canada award winning, Time 100, Titan 100, Blake Booze, Betty Booze. By the way, stupid commercial with Dorota, the only member of Gossip Girl who will still talk to Blake. She literally could not get anyone else from Gossip Girl to align with her on that new commercial for her new product launch. And that reminds me, shout out to my friend Billy Bush, who's going to be on the show soon. He's coming on my show. Do I love Billy Bush? I think he's phenomenal. But did he not nail Blake Lively when he posted about this? Let me share with you his take on Blake Lively and this new commercial that she just released for her new Betty Booze with the Gossip Girl co-star. It's so on point.
Betty Booze commercial, right out of the Ryan Reynolds playbook. But, for him, funny and cheeky comes easy. This one you can see coming from a mile away. I liked the when Harry met Sally moaning, nice little vibe, but 177,000 likes when I looked at it, with the comments limited to only 13 and all of them praise. Either you got to let the comment section roar and earn people's respect for transparency, or disengage the comments altogether. You can't force feed only positive comments. It's like telling people to their faces they're stupid. And the 14,000 shares, how many of them do you think come with the note, oh my God, this is so funny and you've got to try this amazing spiked iced tea? So much pressure. It's not enough to be an influencer these days, right? You got to be a female founder. Kim, Kylie, Jessica Simpson, and Alba, Haley, boss lady vibes. And then you're married to Ryan Reynolds. That's not easy. Aviation Gin, Mint Mobile, a soccer team that goes from the Bad News Bears to the Yankees. I mean, it's hard keeping up with the Joneses, or should we say Jenners. The insecurity-fueled ambition, though, is really what created the whole Baldoni mess. We'd all like to be titans, but you got to earn that. Trying to simultaneously obliterate Justin Baldoni in court, dismantle his career, detonate his future, while your career and persona skates by unvarnished, it's a fool's errand. People are not dumb. They hate being force-fed a narrative. It's like trying to run a foot race with an anvil tied to your ankle. I mean, you can't take out Baldoni and pretend nobody's looking. See, in the old days, a publicist could shape images, right? They could bully reporters and writers into amplifying their narrative, doing what they want. But I think we're way past that tipping point. All right.
It's so good trying to obliterate and take down Justin Baldoni while you're, skating through life and pretending everything's fine. No. Stop announcing new products. Stop pretending everything is okay while you're allegedly the victim of this heinous harassment, that is enough that you are still going after him, that you are still so hurt and so damaged that you are still not dropping this case, that you are still so upset and damaged by. Stop releasing new products and launching new drinks and talking about all your successes and how wonderful life is. It is disgusting. It is absolutely disgusting. Read the fucking room. And all of the people under you who like are your mouthpieces, share the sentiment. I have zero empathy or sympathy or anything for any single one of you or any of the people under you anymore, because you are showing no sadness, no damages, and no sign of anything. Like I don't feel bad for Blake Lively at all. At all. Nothing that she went through on that film whatsoever, in any way whatsoever, to me makes me feel sad for her. Sorry. Nothing, zero, zilch. Zero. I don't feel bad for her. I don't feel she was ever put in a bad position. I don't feel she ever was put in an uncomfortable position. I don't think she ever was put in a position where she was scared, nervous, put in a position where she was like uncomfortable. Oh my God, I feel like I'm not going to. Never, not one, zero, none. I don't feel bad for her. So you're not going to like threaten me and concern me and worry me and make me think like, oh my God, what is like enough with this like bullshit, trying to change the narrative out there where the Baldoni supporters what happened yesterday where the TMZ article came out where they're like trying to, now Blake Lively subpoenaing Candace Owens and Perez Hilton and Andy, and there's no subpoenas. It's all bullshit. But that's obviously getting leaked by Blake Lively because you guys, there's obviously, there's some panicking going on over there because they don't have any true reasonable, real, legitimate subpoena for the Van Zandt sham scam. The Van Zandt sham scam, say that 10 times in a row, okay? And you guys can say 20 times, 300 times, oh, well, his lawsuit got dropped. Okay, it didn't get dropped. It got dismissed in the defamation side. He decided, or Brian Friedman decided, to not amend because something else is afoot. We don't know what. But Blake Lively and her stupid Van Zandt and her other freaking annoying people that all surround her are not innocent. They have done bad things. Not saying everyone's a perfect character here, but just trust. Injustice is all around us. But I think usually good things can happen down the line. So the thumbnail for today's show says injustice, and it's a picture of Kohberger and Diddy, but I should probably throw Blake Lively's face up there as well. Don't you think? I think she deserves it. All right, you guys, I adore you. Thank you so much for being here. And I'll see you tonight for members only so we can really let loose. Today was a day. Love you. Bye.